congrats on the win for you all. Rakia, for you first.
I didn't even see Rakia.
You just had not only fourth quarter in terms of full reactions when Beyonce's Get Me Body was going on. You're getting yourself hyped with you and Cam. You talk about that last play. You got the mismatch with Talbot, but she played great defense and you made a greater shot. Talk about that in the moment of the whole teammate celebrating the effort.
I just feel like we just executed. We drew a play up and we just executed to the T. You know, D saw me, got her assist, so I'm like, I can't let them down. I got to give D her assist or whatever. But, you know, just to celebrate that moment, I feel like we worked really hard for this win, so I just feel like we deserved it. I didn't personally want to go overtime. I'm like, we can get this out the way in this road trip right now. I'm willing to do whatever that takes. So that's all I was thinking about, just trying to win for my team.
Rakia, any game winners over the course of your life that stand out, like at any level, and what does it feel like doing that in front of a crowd that's just going ballistic the whole game?
No, nothing like this one, honestly. I feel like this was just the ice on the cake for us. Going 3-0 on the road is big time. I feel like we're peaking at the right time. We're playing really well on both ends of the floor, so I was just like, we got to get this win. We deserved it. We played great basketball the whole game, so it's like, why not win it?
Ben, just Dearica, what do you feel like you guys learned about yourselves tonight, if anything?
That we're good. You know, we've been talking about the bigger picture here since the beginning of the season, and I think a couple press conferences ago I talked about everybody else's peak, and just like Rakia said, I think we're finding momentum at the right time. And yeah, we're gonna celebrate this tonight and then get back in the gym tomorrow and get ready for Vegas.
Yeah. First for you, Coach, just want to ask you, talked about earlier about knowing how to win. Was this a prime example of just how you all learn how to, as this team is going forward, learning how to win? And I know Maya probably wants to say something right after, so just for you first, Coach Lynne.
Yeah, I thought, you know, they have it going on in terms of atmosphere. It is loud. My ears are still ringing. But for us to, you know, we knew they were going to go on a run. You know, they're defending champs, like, and they're star power. But I'm, you know, part of learning to win is learning to just stay steady and not get too high or too low or panic, right? And we didn't. And, you know, New York was coming at us, and I thought Natasha Cloud put a lot of pressure on the defense for us. You know, she's tough. She just gets going downhill, and then obviously Sabrina is always, you know, dangerous. And every time she shoots it, you kind of hold your breath. So, but again, I'm just proud of these guys' resilience, and they're buying in and they're figuring it out. And I have so much trust in them, where it's, you know, Julie will come over and suggest something, KP, Rakia did it, like, and I'm all for it. Like, there's ownership in what we're doing. And then again, just that resilience and staying steady. I think that's what it takes to win.
We'll go to Zoom for some questions. Mike Keller first.
Hey, what's up, guys? Mike here, Matthew, LA Sports Weekly. My first question is for you, Coach. Can you just talk about just the matchup of Kelsey Plum and Natasha Cloud, how they were battling out there, and just, you know, how magical it was for you as a coach to be coaching to see that, and, you know, what you got from that battle of those two? Yeah,
I mean, those are two competitors just going at it. And, you know, KP, they made life hard. Every time she caught the ball, she had to work. But, you know, she hung in there and did a great job and facilitated 8 assists. And, you know, Natasha's her speed off the dribble is it's tough. And especially, you know, in transition, she made things hard. And I thought Julie Allman did a pretty good job on her. You know, she just drew some fouls, and but you know, that's just two heavyweight competitors going at it.
And then my second question is for Dearica. Just the way that you and Azure were able to dominate there on the boards, just how important is that for you to attack the rebounds the way that you do to help this team be successful?
We just always talk about creating second chance points, and we knew, both of us going into this game, that it was going to be a big one as far as the bigs matchup. And I think you saw 4 of the best post players in this league tonight. Obviously, Stewie went down, but I feel like we just have put emphasis on offensive rebounding, and so we're crashing every single time.
And if I could add on that point, Dearica and Z were huge, and I think, again, to the last question about staying steady, Azra didn't have any points at halftime, and she never wavered. She stayed steady, and she finished with 17, and she hit some big ones. When we needed a bucket in transition or a pull-up or attacking rebounds, that's a perfect example of a player just staying steady and staying confident. And, Dearica, again, 8 for 11. Her efficiency is just off the charts. So those two are definitely holding it down for us inside. And then, we've got players like Rakia. And Rakia got us going in the first half. She was unconscious. The rim was huge. So that was great. And then she hit that last shot. So, again, just that mentality of just keep pushing and staying steady.
Let's go to Jackie Ray on Zoom.
Hey Coach, this one's for you. You talked about Azure. She is definitely on her way to getting most improved this season, which is a huge accomplishment for her. She's obviously healthy. How is she really embracing that moment and knowing even at this point in her career she still has a lot of road in front of her? Yeah,
I mean, if she continues on this, there's no way she doesn't win that, right? And she's just so valuable for us, and her length and from rebounding and defending, she can switch and guard guards. I think she's worked. I'm sure she had the confidence in herself always, and I think everyone else is now seeing her potential and what an all-star she really is.
Let's go to Willie Ramirez.
Thank you. Hey, I think that we've talked a few times this season early on about KP, but here we are 25 games into the season. She's had double digits every single game, 20 points or more, 14 or 15 of those games, despite the outside noise, regardless of what it may have been, the maturity that she's continued to show, the poise that she's continued to show, and the leadership. What have you learned in your first year as coach of this team from her alone that you've been able to sort of take a deep breath and use to your advantage?
That's a good question. I think the thing with KP, and I think she sets the tone, is she is so competitive. She's not afraid of the moment. She's not afraid of the pressure to be that leader of this group. She's fiery, she's feisty, but it's all in the name of winning. And I knew that about her, but to really, live it and see it, it's fun to coach. It really is. She just wants to win, and she doesn't care how many points she has. She just wants to do what she can do. But she had 8 assists, and it's just she was dealing. And again, I don't think it can be understated how hard every time she catches the ball, how much she has to work. And she just continues to attack and fight, and she knocked down 7 for 7 free throws. Those were big, and it was loud. And those are big competitive moments, and she stepped up.
We'll finish with Justin Russo.
To Rickea, I know Dearica and Kelsey have had a relationship long back to San Antonio. But Rickea, for you, your second year, what have you taken from KP and just learned and inspired by, motivated by throughout this season?
Just her preparation, KP is the epitome of a pro. She's the first one there, last one to leave. She leads by example. So even if she didn't say anything, you just respect her because of the work she puts in behind the scenes. So for her to be as vocal as she is, everyone respects her. Everyone, wants to make sure KP is in a good space. When we're doing something good, we're looking at KP like, yeah. So, she's one of those players like you want to make proud because she works so hard for us and she gives so much and sacrifices so much. So I've just been learning from her, and again, she's always giving me advice on things and outside of basketball as well. So just having her vocally and leading by example, it just goes hand in hand. But she's truly a great person.
Thank you, ladies.
Go ahead, Justin, and then the
We just won, guys. We want to go home.
Yeah. Especially me.
My question for Rickea. Rickea, before the game, your coach was very complimentary of you, right? Progressed throughout the season in all phases. You're on a pretty hot run over the last couple of weeks. When you look back at the beginning of the season to this point now, where have you seen that you've been able to grow, and kind of has your confidence grown
I feel like we just all grown together as a team. It takes time to learn a new system. It takes time to, see what goes into it. So I feel like just watching countless film and sticking together, I feel like that's why, everyone is getting confident at this point.
Last one for me. For Lynne, I think both teams scored at one point maybe 12 on 12 consecutive possessions down and back. I guess, what was that like for you to watch as a fan of the game? And I guess, can you reflect on the defensive performances, I guess, for both teams?
On, man.
I have to ask that too.
It was an offensive game, right? It was a track meet, and you have two teams that love to shoot the ball, and you have two teams that love to get out and run, and they're versatile. So the shots are coming up, and good offense beats good defense every time. So I thought the word that we use is answer. So if the team scores, the crowd's in there, just answer. Take it out, run it down, try to answer and silence them. And I thought we did a great job of that tonight, and they did it too, right? We'd get a lead. I don't know if they ever took the lead back in the fourth. They tied it, but we never, we bent, but we didn't break, and we just kept coming back. And for me as a coach, I love the confidence that our players are playing with and shooting it with. I think that's the key to being a good offensive team, is just to never waver, and I think that's what you saw. And again, New York knows how to win, and they're not going to go away. So I thought it was a good offensive game for a fan of offense. Can't do better. I'm not going to answer your defensive question.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you all.